Okay, so I am here for our first ever sit-down interview with Bennett Lehman. Bennett is going to be a senior runner at Ansonia High School in Southwest Ohio. He is a Triple Crown winner. So this past year he won the 5K for D4 for cross country, and then he turned around and won the 16 and 32. So he is a Triple Crown runner for Ohio. But more importantly, how's it going? How you doing, Bennett?
Good. Thank you for having me on the show, and I love what you're doing here.
This is exciting. I have no idea what I'm doing, so we're just gonna get into it. Sorry. How's your summer been? How's things going so far?
Pretty good. Lots of time with family and friends. This is kind of the accumulation of my high school career, right? So this is the last full summer, I'll say, here in Ansonia, for sure. So just taking it in with the family and friends and spending time with everybody.
So how does your summer training look a little bit different? So how does your summer training look versus in-season training?
So out of season training is, obviously we're getting a base, right? We had a little break after state, and then we're just getting a base for cross country season. In season, obviously, it just comes with some ups and downs, how we're feeling, how we're not. But right now, we're really just trying to push the envelope. What we do now is not necessarily what we're going to benefit from this season, but potentially in college. Everybody thinks that what you do right now is going to happen in a month, and that's not always how the case is. So, for running as many years as I have, right now is going to benefit more in college than right now this season.
That's an interesting way to look at it. So, take me back to whenever you first started running. What age was that at? Was it a fun run? Was it a junior high? When did you start?
Yeah, running? So my parents were cross country runners, and they'll claim they weren't any good. They went to Union City, but I was really not introduced to it until I'll say my high school, in high school, my freshman year. So did some fun runs, did the Healthy Kids Running Series throughout my elementary, grade school kind of stuff, ran races, had fun. I was outside all the time, so running was just a part of the life, and it was just in the other sports that I did play. But it was never this is what I'm gonna do. And so in junior high, I split time between baseball and track and football and curls. So switching all over the place, everywhere. And then high school, I figured I wasn't big enough to play football, so I had one option. And cross country, having leaders like Matt Lee and Sparky and all this stuff, kind of helped me and just guided me through that.
But, yeah. So was it high school when you first realized, oh, okay, this is something that I'm there, or what was that moment that it hit you okay, I'm pretty good at this. This is something that I really want to push at.
Yeah, I think it was hard to somewhat get away. As a kid, I always thought I'm going to play baseball somewhere. That's my goal. And I honestly don't even think I realized it until probably my freshman summer, transitioning into my sophomore year, that I was I think this might be for real. So I think it was just one of those I don't even think there was a bang that was this is what it's gonna be. But I don't know, looking back on freshman year and stuff, how much I grew and everything, and Coach Neubauer being able to be there for me and having a stable program, stable training, everything, I was okay, this might be for real.
Talk to me a little bit about Coach Neubauer. He's always a great guy to talk to. He's very, very happy. He's always willing and congratulates you on success. Talk to me a little bit about him and what he's done for you in your career.
100%. Off of running, the dude is an amazing guy, right? We've built a great friendship, and not just us, but just the whole group that he has trained. He's been, I don't even know, training people from how long ago, but he does not just train high school kids. He trains all the way up to 75-year-olds who are just trying to run a mile. But it is, he's amazing, and he takes everybody under his wing, and he treats them like a parent, and he's super encouraging, but he is definitely gonna push you to be better. And I think that's why we have such a great friendship, is because, he has been there for me when things are going kind of rough, and he's obviously gonna say his things, but I think just what he's done, the knowledge he has, how he's always wanted to come pick you up when you're down is amazing.
Okay, so everybody can look at your times. They can see that you won 5Ks, see all the state championship stuff. Besides running, right? Take running out of the picture. What else do you do besides just going out and doing your workouts?
Yeah, so right now I'm golfing a lot with my friends.
You're golf? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to be I'm actually made this deal with one of my friends. If he ran cross country, I do golf with him.
Okay.
So this season, I'm going to be golfing and doing cross country.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so kind of had to pull some strings there with Coach Newbauer.
I can only imagine.
And so pick up the teammate and sacrifice a little bit of my time, and I mean it's fun, so I enjoy it.
Okay, so talk to me about the differences between golf and cross country. Right, golf is a game that everybody knows it, but what are some of the biggest differences that you see between like a golf or cross country?
I mean, I think it's a way. I think with training, running, like I think sometimes it's therapy for me. The getaway and being able to get out in God's creation and just take a look. And we're in the country out here, and so there's not a whole lot of noise all the time. Get interstates, you don't get all this stuff. But being able to kind of pause from life, it kind of feels like, is such a not everybody gets to experience that, and so I think we have it a little different around here, but you just got to make it what you want it to be. But I think in a way, they're somewhat the same. They're so much different. I think it's like when you hit a shot, and I don't hit a lot of good shots, but it's like you hit a shot and you hit a bad shot, and it's next shot. It's a mindset thing. So as much as running is a mindset, like a mental game, golf is a mental game too. You have to roll the punches.
You have to think that's going to make you a better runner in the long term, because again, when you see what golf is doing, it's that longer game, right? A cross country race, we're done in 15, hopefully 14 minutes.
Right.
Depending on what you're running, right? Golf goes for a long time, so you have to stay locked in.
Right.
A lot longer. Your longest runs, you're getting out there hours, or maybe an hour and a half. However long is a long run,
right.
But you don't have to stay completely locked in. You can let yourself kind of go. So that's a different kind of locked in staying for golf.
For sure.
Take me through what your goals are for this upcoming season, right? So you went back in this past season. Actually, I take that back. Let's start with that. Let's start with this past season, cross country.
Yeah.
You came into the race and you had a goal in mind, and that goal in mind was to be the defending champ. Talk me through the race, what you kind of went through, what the preparation was like, and then what it felt like when you finished the race.
I don't know how many times his name came up for a year and a half before. I'm telling you, every single week there's at least multiple mentions of D. Luke Schneider.
Yeah.
He literally is a stud.
He's a top 10 finisher in all cross country races at a state course, right? He's running in the 14s. He's an amazing athlete, and so you have the weight of that legacy that he already has, and he's going into his senior year. Right. You're coming into your junior year, right? What has that been like?
Right. So again, our goal was not Luke Schneider. Our goal was a state championship. So and one reason you have to get through him to win.
Correct.
So yeah, when you wake up and you don't want to do your runs, because I don't want to do my runs all the time. Some days I wake up, I'm like, I'm tired. And so I think having a goal in mind, if that's any goal, is that was my goal, is a state championship. And going into the race, I was nervous. I'm nervous every race. It doesn't matter if it's small one or a big one, right?
Yep.
I try to take it the same way, but I did know that he's good. He's real good, and he's a veteran, and he's been good since he came into high school. Now, as a freshman, he was state runner-up, and then state championship champion, and then undecided what was that right now.
Yep.
And so he was going for it. Like,
correct. You both were. It was a dogfight.
Right. There was no question about that.
All right. Talk to me about, so for those who didn't watch the race, Luke went out and took the lead, and you kind of sat right behind him. Talk to me about when you made your move. What was your mindset going into that?
Yeah, I mean, the goal was literally, he's a cruiser, and he'll push until you don't want to push with him anymore.
Yeah.
And so we kind of knew that, and we're like, if we can just stick on him and make him work, I think one of the things that we have just talked about, me and Coach Neubauer, but also just like leading a race takes more energy than falling. Mm-hmm. And so, and most of my races, strategically, we don't lead until we have to. Yep. And so that was the exact same goal there. Do not lead until we absolutely have to. And so at some point, you have to make your move, and the hill in the back corner where there's not a lot of people, and that's my move right there. Is I don't care how good you are. It's happened to me so many times. But if you can break a kid's mindset of I'm going to do this, and someone's sitting on your butt and they make a move and you can't respond, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I don't care how good you are at any level, like that can be a heartbreak.
Yeah.
And it can totally mess up your race. So again, not that I'm trying to break hearts out there all the time, but trying to get myself an edge, and so make it on the hill. We had less than 1,000 meters at that point left, and all gas. I mean, and I know when I made the move, like he's coming to chase me.
Correct. It was still a hunt. He was coming for you, especially coming on that hill. Okay, you cross the finish line and you realize I just did this.
Right.
What is that feeling like?
I don't even know. I don't really have any words. I'll say it's been a trend now for me, but it is. I don't know. I always chase. We should always chase state championships, right? So, I think one thing that I really thought after, I think it didn't even hit me till the next few days. Like, oh yeah, it's cool in the moment. You get the great Ohio fans, and Obetz is filled to the brim. Yep. And you see some of your teammates that aren't on your team finishing, and all your friends, and so it's fun to have them come across and see a smile on their face. But I think one of the things that mostly I figured out was like we were trying to win a state championship for a year, and when it happened, nothing really changed. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that was like kind of, I don't even want to say like hard for me, but it was definitely like, what's next?
You
right?
achieved this. This was the goal. You achieved it, but then how do you then set a new goal, or what does that like? What's bigger than this? What's next?
Well, I think always like, growing up, I always went to church, and so I think it was just one of those things. Like it has been kind of repeated in my brain all the time of like, you chase these worldly things, and when you get to them and you receive them, you're like, okay, what's next? And it's like nothing pleases you in this world, and so I think that's where I was kind of like, state championships are cool, like they are, and it was fun. I don't want to take anything away from it, but I don't want anybody to be like, that's what I want, because it's gonna fulfill me, and it's like it really doesn't ever. And so I think I was just one of those like, it doesn't fulfill you. Yeah. The worldly things don't fulfill you. Only he can. And so I think that was just like, I think that's been my mindset. Like that doesn't mean I don't want to run or win races.
Yes.
But it just means when I cross the finish line, it doesn't mean anything about me.
Yes.
It's all about him. And so it's like, this is just to glorify him.
That's awesome. Okay. So now you have that mindset, that realization after you go through winning the 5K, you do that with the 16 and the 32, right? We just talked about that. Well, what's next, right? So, maybe not even just race-wise, what are some goals that you have this upcoming season, or even upcoming into your senior year? What are some goals that you want to accomplish? Maybe it's on the race, maybe it's off the course. What are some goals that you have that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I definitely, I'm not saying we definitely want to get our time. Like, I mean, that's what you always want, right?
Yeah.
I think to show whatever college I choose to go to, like, you're going to get a pretty reliable person, like, when you get me. So, I think it's just proven, like, what the work that I have put in and what Coach Newbar has given me. And so I think it's just, I don't even say proven a point, but it is finishing what I have worked for. Um, you know, Coach Newbar has told me since my 8th grade year when I ran 2 cross country races, maybe, he was telling me that, you got a talent that no one else has. And most people don't use it because stuff get in their way. Yeah. But he's like, you have the opportunity to be different than everybody else around you. Yeah. And I think trying to be a person away from the crowd is something that I want to be. Going back to the whole like faith thing, right? You cannot be part of the crowd but also follow him. So to be different, like to do different things, you have to be different. So Neubauer has pounded that in my mind since freshman year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say it's just the goals, like, we're not stopping. So
yeah,
we want double-digit state championships. We want to get a team state championship in track, right? It's not just about my individual success, but also team. And so indoor track, I think we potentially have a chance to win as well. So
talk to me about some of your teammates, right? You have Kate Shellhouse that you two practically won regionals with, along with Zach, and you have these guys where you have him and going the 110s, 300 pole vault, right? You're going in the distance events and scrapping out points wherever you can. Right. What has that been like, that relationship between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been, we've been friends since, I don't even know, since we were super little in kindergarten. But I don't know, being able to grow up together has kind of just been super cool. I never would have thought that 2 people in the same grade would have had a state championship together in Ansonia, because we haven't had really not a lot. But to be friends and to be in the same grade, it's special. It's something that you don't always find around here. I know he works so hard, and he doesn't just have one event, right? Pole vault is his natural talent. But I think what people don't also realize is he's pretty stinking fast too. And he's worked hard to get there, and he's worked on his hurdles. I mean,
regional champs in the 110s. I mean, he
yeah. And he's a gamer. Like, he shows up when it matters. And so,
it's hard to it's hard to run the 300 hurdles and turn around and run the 200-meter dash. Not just make it there, but he did that at state. Right. That's unheard.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just we both have had off days on meets, but I think when it matters the most, we both showed up, and I think that's a testament to both of us, but it's also a testament to our coaches, of getting us ready when it really matters. And so teammates, just obviously Kate's a horse. Kate scores a lot of points. Yeah. It's nice to finish a race and look across the track and see your buddy finishing first as well and scoring points for your team. But we have a lot of special freshmen and younger guys that have so much potential to step up and do just as big things. And I think also where it comes into play is, like, they might not get their names said in the newspapers at all, but the 3 points and the 5 points there and here, right? It doesn't.
That's all of the points matter, especially there. You can pull 3 points here, 2 points here. It's a swing between everything. It's the same thing in a cross country race. You have a 5 runner or 4 runner who gets 3 places up. Those points start to matter over time. One of the things I've admired so much about you is how you are with other athletes as I see you run, right? You finish a race like you talked. You love sitting there and watching other people finish and talking about there. Talk to me about what your relationship like is, not with just other teammates, but like with other athletes, and what kind of person you want to carry yourself as like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like you want to portray this image of yourself, but you don't want to make it not true, right? So I think it's just letting praying about who you want to be, and I think it's just letting God speak through me, and I just want to be a vessel. But I think um, showing kindness is not hard at all, and there are I was the same way. There's kids when I was in high school who were seniors that I was like, dude, I want to be exactly like you.
Yeah.
And they didn't even play the same sports I did.
Yeah.
But the way they carried themselves and the way they treated others, I was like, that's who I want to be after. I want to be like those guys. And so I think just showing like it's not hard to go talk to somebody, right? And I don't want to ever say that some kid wants to talk to me, but I do know that I was a freshman one time, and it would have been crazy if a senior came over and talked to me.
Yeah.
And so I think just being able to like I've been there and I've done that, and you can pass on super valuable information.
So if you had to give advice, so you have a freshman, 8th grader, young kid who wants to get into the sport of running, they want to be competitive, they want to do those things. What would some advice that you would give to a young kid, 8th grader, freshman, maybe sophomore?
Yeah, I think you just have to have so much fun. Like, yeah, we talk about being serious all the time and how all the runs need to like be purposeful. But that does not mean you cannot laugh and smile and joke and all the things with your friends. And so I think, um, this season, like some of my teammates who have not ever probably run a mile before, that like I'm like, all right, come on, run. And they're like, it's not that bad. And I'm like, I told you, like it. And so it's just, I think it's one of those things like it doesn't have to be super serious. You don't have to be so hard on yourself all the time to get progress.
Yeah.
And so I think just having fun, enjoying it, you have to enjoy the process too.
Yeah.
And it's hard work. A lot of people don't around here. Like you might not have a whole lot of people to run with, and so you have to enjoy being alone and being time by yourself. But I think it's just a valuable thing. Like I said earlier, I think it's almost like a therapy for me. It's just kind of get away from everything, take some deep breaths, and just chill.
All right. Last question that I have for you. Let's say you have 30 seconds to tell the world a message, right? Say you could broadcast this to everywhere. You have 30 seconds to give this message. What would that message be? It's a hard question.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. Let me think. There's nothing more valuable than I think um, enjoying time with people. Like I have, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want to go super far away from Ohio. I thought always I wanted to go super far away for college, and I think one of the reasons why is because I actually enjoy my family, and you just got to build a relationship. But I think another thing is, we got one shot to do something. We get one chance, and so, um, you can't have any regrets. And so I'm not saying do anything stupid, but
yeah,
you got one shot to chase your goal. You got one shot to hang out with your friends. You got one shot to get Jesus on your side. And so I think that's what I would do.
Okay. All right. Well, Bennett Lehman, multiple state champions, but more importantly, child of God. Thank you,
Yeah.
Bennett, for your time. I appreciate it.